Hello and welcome to the Breakout Music Space podcast. We're here with the wonderful Ashley Brini.
Hello.
How are you, Ashley?
Fantastic.
Good
How are
stuff.
you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Good.
Today we're going to have a wee chat about mental health and nursing, aesthetics, and the fact you were a makeup artist as well, and some other stuff as well.
Interesting.
How's your morning been? How's it started?
My morning started with getting up, getting the kids sorted and going to the gym.
And this is a big thing for you, isn't
Myself,
it?
yeah.
So how often do you go to the gym?
5 to 6 times a week.
Okay. Some folk would say that's a wee bit excessive. Some would say that's probably average. What do you think?
I think for me it works well. For other people it might come across that it's too much or overly keen. But whatever works for you, and it works well for me.
Yeah, good. I go out running and go to the gym and that as well. I actually noticed you were going running a while back as well. How's that going?
Well, I started that in February. I thought, you know what, running was never, as we should say, my forte. So I thought I'm going to give it a bash because I think in life we tend to avoid things that we feel that we're not good at. So I thought, I'm going to try this. So I started off with like maybe a kilometre and then I started building it up, got to 5k and I was like, right, okay, where am I going from here? So I pushed out to the 10k. So I do enjoy it and I feel free.
Is that your top distance?
Yeah, top distance, because I thought, like, where else am I going from here unless I'm going to do a half marathon or something? It is in the pipeline. It's on my bucket list to do a half marathon.
Somebody kind of pitched the idea to me about doing a half marathon.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. The furthest I've done is 12.5 kilometres.
Have you?
So
how long did that take you?
I think it was about an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
an hour and a half, something like that.
My 10k is probably taking about that, and I'm thinking maybe I need to get my speed up a bit, but I just enjoy it.
I think it depends on your route as well, because there was
uphill and stuff.
Yeah, so I know. Do you know the hill that goes in Dundee, Arran Drive at Charleston? So I stupidly tried to run up that one day and got to the top with my legs just seized, absolutely seized.
Have you ever tried that Morrison's one? So
no.
That's just basically where I start, and by the time I get to the top of that, I'm like, this was a nightmare. But yeah, 10k probably takes me about an hour 28. But Jerry Cinnamon on the AirPods, he just gets me through my runs.
Oh, see, I've got the crashing metal on. I need the metal to get me through. So the fitness that you're involved in, you've kind of got a wee programme that's going on which kind of relates to your mental health nursing.
Yeah.
So tell us about how that relates into it.
Over the years, I've used the gym to burn off like excess energy that I feel like that I have within, and it works well for me. So if I get up in the morning and I go to the gym, I feel like it just sets me up right for the day. So obviously I'm a qualified mental health nurse, and I had thought, right, that does help and it does link in with the whole mental health thing, and it's evidence-based. So then I created the branding of Unwind Your Mind. So how much exercise, fitness, going for a walk, whatever it is that you want to do, it does unwind your mind and sets you up right. So then I thought, do you know what, as far as I'm led to believe, and I've done a bit of research on it, there's not one mental health nurse trained in personal training, and there's not one personal trainer qualified in mental health nursing. So I am currently just finishing up my PT course, and I should be signed off by next week. So hopefully just to give people more an understanding on how you could take that sole responsibility and have that hope for yourself or where you want to go and what you want to do.
Yeah, that's good, because I see a lot of your posts on Facebook and they're inspirational.
Thank you.
I mean, you know how Facebook is. Some people probably get annoyed at it, but you
Yep.
probably inspire half dozen people here or there. Is that your aim, just to get one or two, or do you just do it just because it's good?
I
because
think,
you enjoy it?
obviously I had Let's Talk Tayside, and I'm all about like putting positivity out there. Like every day in people's life can be positive. Like you've got that roller coaster effect that nobody could ever function going through life like euphoric and every day is like phenomenal. It's just not possible at all. And as long as you understand you're going to go through peaks and troughs, and when you're up here and you're euphoric, you are probably going to dip down. When you're down there, the only way to go is back up. But I think the gym very much inspires that. But I think when it comes to social media could very much be used as a powerful tool, but it can be used as a negative tool as well. And like hopefully not, but I probably do annoy people with my posts. But then if I could inspire one person out every 100, that means the world to me. And I do get a lot of private messages like, Ashley, your post is just what I needed to see today. And to me, that one person to me means a lot.
Yeah. Do you know what posts I love that you put up? See your food posts. They always look so good.
Do you know what?
It always makes me hungry.
I absolutely love posting my food, and I'm like, oh my God, that looks amazing.
It's just as well you're not vegan, or we'd get 4 meals a day for you.
Yeah, I know. But I think the thing is with food as well, like your relationship with food, like you can't eat, and people get really confused with that, thinking like if you're going to the gym and you can't do this and you can't do that, it's about having everything in moderation. And I hate the terminology that people use, a cheat day. It should be used as a treat day, like, because I have treats, like, I stick to the gym and I eat healthy most of the time, but if I want to have something, I'll have it. Like, I wouldn't ever deny myself or deprive myself of anything.
No, I wouldn't either, definitely not. So you touched on mental health there, right, and nursing. How did you get into nursing? What made you decide to go into nursing?
So when I was 16, 17, I was really physically unwell, and on my 18th birthday I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, so it's obviously a physical condition to do with the bowel. So I got really unwell, and then I got into my early 20s. I had just had Chloe, and I was in getting operation after operation, and they were like, we don't know where we're going with this, Ashley. So they kept on operating and it kept on failing, and then I had Chloe, and I think she was 2, and they were like, there's nothing more actually physically we could do to help, and basically gave me a day left to live at that point. And I was like, I've not got time for this dying capers, man, I've got a kid to look after. So that was that. And then the surgeon came around, he was just amazing, and he was like, right, we've got an option, a colostomy bag. And I was like, right, okay, whatever it takes. So that's where we went from there. So I had the bag, I was like so emaciated, I was like 5.5 stone, I was on really strong medication. I think that gave me a poor quality of life as well. God, I couldn't sit right. See, at one point, right, not that I'm laughing, because at the time it was horrific, I used to have to take a swimming ring with, and like if I went out, because I literally, like all the operations were obviously at my bum, and they used to slice my bum cheeks and you couldn't sit, so I used to take the swimming ring. And see, now when I look back at it, I'm sure they were Disney princess. But I worked at that time, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that had then all happened, and then I remember I was medically signed off. I remember getting this form, it was a Med 4 or something it was called, to say that I would never need to work again. I remember thinking to myself, right, okay, the medication I was on, I couldn't go into sunlight, it made us really poorly, it was like projectile vomiting, and I thought, this isn't my life, this isn't happening. So I started getting into positive mindset, positive reading, all that sort of stuff, and I came across The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and absolutely adore this woman. So I bought the book, I started like practicing everything that it said in it about like how your mindset's like a radio wave, and for everything that you think you get it back 10 times. And so I was like, right, I'm going to try that, and it really did work. So from there, sorry, I speak with pure pressure speaking there.
No, go for it, that's what it's
from
for.
there, I went to do Reiki course, so I'd done Reiki 1 and 2, and now looking back, I did do it like more for selfish needs, for me and to heal me. And I don't know how or where, and I believe it was through a positive mindset, I'm not on any medication now. It took a few years, but then I eventually spoke to my surgeon. I was like, please, could we just remove my bag? And we did. And I've been medicine-free and bag-free since I was 31. So, phenomenal.
Do you think that like as like a positive mindset change, a diet change, an exercise routine, has that all helped with that, or is there something else that's changed?
Like the diet has never ever been an issue to do with my Crohn's. Crohn's can be linked to diet and things like that. I think mine's is more like stress. Like if I worry about things, like it does like impact on my physical. But exercise probably came quite a few years later after the diagnosis and everything like that. But I think the positive mindset was definitely the stepping stone. Without that, I didn't think I would be where I am today.
And so that then, did you then think, right, I want to go into nursing, I want to make a difference?
So what
or did something else happen? I
started into beauty then. I went and got privately trained in beauty, and I was like, do you know what? I actually want to work with people. So that's what I done. I applied for a job, and I ended up in that job for 13 years. So I worked in challenging behaviour, learning disability and mental health. So I worked there for like 12, 13 years, and then I thought, do you know what? I'm in my 30s. I'm basically doing the job of a nurse. I'm going to go to university, and I applied and I got in. So that was where that went.
And here you are.
And here I am now.
And was it always mental health you were going to go into?
Yeah, definitely. I think like the difference between, obviously I was physically ill, But I think that really did, it impacted on everything. Like before I got unwell, I was a dance teacher. I had a 6-pack, I was tiny, and very much like I just probably took that for granted at that time. And then like everything about my whole lifestyle, my clothing, like everything changed. I changed. I was a young girl and like having to hide like my tummy and things like that. And I think I used to laugh it off, and that was probably to mask how unconfident I felt about it. So when it come to like doing the mental health thing, I think that like you see a broken arm, but if somebody's feeling upset in their mind, you don't see that. But the brain's an organ, so it can get on well just like any other part of your body. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, mental health affects everybody, right? I'm
definitely.
not going to claim that it's not affecting me, because it does. And maybe not quite similar. I seem to get the stomach problems, and it's like I can't eat. I don't want to eat. My stomach doesn't feel like it needs to eat. But then, as we discussed earlier, I need exercise to cure that. Because so yesterday, right, Dundee got beat from United. For those of the football persuasion, I was thoroughly depressed, right? Yeah. And I went to the gym, just as you were sending me all your information with your pack about how positivity and exercise could help your mindfulness. Yeah. And I thought that was, reading through it, I was like, it cheered me up before I even actually went to the gym.
And that's it. That's it. It's like watering a plant. See, if you're going to feed your mind the food that it needs, as in like what you're reading, who you're surrounding yourself by, and what you're doing with your life, and about you feeling fulfilled in life. Yeah. Then,
because you always do loads of positive stuff, right? So there was a Let's Talk Tayside. So that was a mental health group, and was that just through social media? Or
so I was just a random idea, and that random idea had done amazing. I was so proud of it. I think within 2 or 3 weeks, got the platform up to 4,500 members. And we've done loads. We've done open mic nights, we've done bridge walks, we've done tea and coffee catch-ups, and it was like, do you know what, it made my heart so happy, because and it wasn't about me doing it, it was about the group themselves, and the 4,500 members they would encourage one another and spur one another on, and they would put stuff into the group, and then they would add in what was going on in the community, and it was just amazing to be part of.
Are you still involved with that?
As soon as I was qualified, I wasn't allowed to be attached to it legally due to being a professional, which did hurt my heart quite a bit, because I didn't want people to think I'd let them down. But yeah, it was a massive achievement.
Is it still ongoing? Is there people still involved with it?
Yeah, the group is still there. There's not much interaction really on the page, and obviously I've got to limit myself to what I'm able to do professionally. But yeah, it was a very, very big part of my life for quite a few years there. I got an award from the university for it, for community engagement as well, when I left. So yeah,
good stuff. It's good to get a wee bit of recognition for that as well. Yeah, especially if that was your plan. You went into that, I'm going into mental health. This is where I'm going with this. And boom, and you get that recognition as well. So that's really good. Yeah. Another one of the things you've done did you have a leisure wear brand?
Yeah. So that was where obviously the PT and that, I had everything in my mind what I was wanting to do and how I was going to do it. But the thing is as well, everything obviously in this day and age has got to be evidence-based. So when I was out there, like, unwind your mind, so it's like a brainwave barbell, that's the design on it.
Okay.
And it's like how going to the gym can burn off negative energy. It can make you feel great. It can make you concentrate more. It can decrease stress and all these sort of things. And it's all evidence-based. So I'm thinking, like, if I'm putting that out there, that's the end goal. If you go to exercise or go to the gym or anything, I need to have the backing for it. So that was the reason I started the personal training course as well.
Okay. So are you still doing that as well, the leisure wear?
Yeah. So as soon as I've obviously broadcast it on social media that I'm now qualified in personal training, that'll push that page forward as well.
Good. Well, we'll pimp that out for you a wee bit as well. Right, we'll do a few wee bits and bobs. So with the exercise plans that you do, do you think it keeps you looking young?
Well, a lot of people say that. I mean, my daughter, for a fine example, she's like, you look 10 years younger now than what you did 10 years ago.
Yeah, so because I'm gobsmacked by Ashley's age. How old are you, Ashley?
39.
39, right, amazing. So I'm going to tell you a wee story about this as well. So my band Cover Daddy, we played a gig at Doc Stewart's a couple of years ago. Yeah. It was New Year's Day, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was New Year's Day. And there was this wee cutie behind the bar. So I'd say to Iona, says, look at that girl behind the bar, eh? And it was obviously yourself. Yeah. And she says, she went, why do you always go for the youngest girl behind the bar? And I was like, what are you talking about? And anyway, when I spoke to her, I was like, she's 30 odd. Iona was gobsmacked. I don't think she believes me at all.
Poorly fella.
What's your secret?
I think that it's just basically minimising stress in your life, looking after yourself. And you know what? It took me a lot of years to realise that. I think for most of my life I've went out and, I don't know, you probably look for reassurance from other people and look for acknowledgement from other people, but see, when you actually internalise that and you look after yourself, self-care, spending time for you. Like years ago, I couldn't think of anything worse than sitting in my house on my own and not having the company of my pals or whatever. See, now I absolutely love it.
Yeah, see, I kind of don't. Like, so see, when the whole COVID thing started, everybody was at home, locked down. That was alien to me, because basically when I finished work, I went home, I got changed, and I left.
Yeah.
And that was me until I went home to my bed at night.
Yeah.
And that was a drastic change of events for me.
And it's difficult for some people, that. But I think maybe because I wasn't forced into it, whereas COVID has forced people into staying at home, it was more a life choice rather than being told, no, you can't leave your house sort of thing. But I don't know, I've just started really enjoying my own company and sitting in, even like, because I don't really watch much TV or anything like that. I listen to music all the time. Music is an absolute, I don't know, I listen to it all day, every day. I'm terrible at singing though. Do not ask me to sing. 39 years of practice and it's one thing.
How do you know you are? Maybe
really
you
bad.
just think you are, but I think I'm terrible.
I've got bad dulcet tones.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So you've done makeup as well, right? Now you do Halloween makeup as well, don't
makeup. You? And do you know what? So
because I tried to book you last year. Was it last year?
You did actually.
Maybe the year before it was.
Yeah, you did. So how did I get into makeup? I think I just basically, I done a wee course. I've done loads of wee courses over the years. Everybody laughs. Everybody's like, what are you doing now, Ashley?
I'm on a course.
Yeah, but I'm like that. Do you know what? How should you only be able to do one thing in life? And I think once you've mastered one thing, how not try other things? So I done a course for makeup and then it just spiralled and then ended up with my own wee studio. And I loved it. See, the thing about makeup was, obviously I do nursing as well, so I was a student then, and I was doing my training, and I was on placements and things like that. But see, when you do makeup, you never ever done somebody's makeup for a negative reason. Do you know what I mean? They were always excited to go out, and there was always good stories, and I really enjoyed that. But Halloween, it's definitely my favourite.
Are you still going to be doing them at Halloween?
I've had a few requests. I've had a few.
Do you want another request?
Yeah.
Because we've got 3 gigs that weekend, so you get a job Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So what to do is, I'll see when my rota comes out for the ward, and if I'm off, I'll do it for you.
Cool,
okay,
right, nice one,
deal.
Brilliant. We'll maybe put it on a podcast.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll podcast it.
So, right, we've covered loads of stuff, right? Mental health, nursing, aesthetics, makeup. Actually, did we cover aesthetics?
No.
We didn't, did we? Right, because I had to Google it a wee bit to make sure I was saying it properly and actually find out what it was. But do you want to tell everybody what aesthetics actually is?
I always say to myself, when I qualify, I'm going to do aesthetics, so like Botox, fillers and things like that. And it was more just, I don't know, it was just something I had said to myself. So I started doing it, and don't get me wrong, they're nerves. Honestly, I get so nervous when I'm doing it, but I think it's because I'm so passionate about it.
Do you need to be a registered nurse to
do
it?
No, you could be a non-medical as well. And really that's... So the lady that has looked after me, India, and that's where I do my aesthetics from, like, she is absolutely phenomenal. So India... her clinic is absolutely beautiful. She has basically held my hand after doing my course, because I trained with somebody else. She wasn't doing the training at that point, and without her, she was non-medical at the time, and she's disqualified now. The experience that girl's got is phenomenal. And she's just been an absolute rock to me.
And is that an ongoing process, or can you have it done once and leave it? Or,
well, it just depends.
Because
everybody's different.
I seem to know the folk that when they have it done, they want it done again.
Yeah, but you could get into that sort of mindset, but that's a discussion you would be having, like, person-centred to your clients, like, and if you thought that somebody was getting overly obsessed with that, you would have that chat with them, definitely.
Yeah, it's like being in a pub and you've had too many drinks, pal.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Definitely. You'd be looking after their well-being as well as obviously doing your job.
Yeah, good. So what's next for you then? I mean, obviously you mentioned that you've got your wee plan for your mindfulness, positivity, and what was it called? Was it called Get Rid of the Bullshit?
Inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit.
That's what it was, yeah.
And I think in life, that's just, I just came up with that sort of terminology, that it's like we do because we need to inhale the good stuff, like feeding our mind with the right stuff, feeding our body with the right stuff, and then like surrounding yourself with the right people. So this 8 to 10 week plan is basically on that. Like, it's not just about your fitness, because your fitness isn't going to be your fitness without feeding your mind and without eating properly and without doing all the good things. So in that plan, it's how does the good shit begin? And how do we do that? And I've sent it over to you, the draft copy, and there's loads of wee hints and tips, and every day I want people to get up and be like, well, do you know what are we grateful for today?
Yeah.
I want people to start off their days with that. What is your gratitude for today? And then set a small goal. Like, it doesn't have to be, it could be, well, I'm going to have a pyjama day today, because all these things are just as important as creating or conquering big goals in life.
Yeah, good. Okay. I think you should film that. I actually think we should. I don't know if you should put it on a podcast, but I think you should film it. You should get that on a nice wee subscription service.
Yeah, and you could help me with that.
People will watch that. Definitely. So what's on for the rest of the week for you?
So I am working day off today, day off tomorrow, and then working. So I'm just getting my training and that in, and going and doing stuff with the kids.
Good stuff. And it's 2 kids you've got, isn't it?
I've got 3.
Oh, you've got 3 kids?
Yeah, I've got 3.
How do you fit all that in with 3 kids?
I don't know. I just think, see, tomorrow's never promised for anyone. And obviously I've been very close to that. Tomorrow's, at that point when I was in my early 20s, it wasn't a promise for me. So from there I've grabbed life by the balls, basically, and just went with it. And it's worked well. But yeah, I go to bed every night and I'm very grateful for that day that I've received. So
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Ashley Bonini, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having us on.
Brilliant. I'd like to say special thanks to our 100% unofficial sponsor, Dr. Martens, unofficially. Thanks to Gowans in the cabin. And again, thanks to Ashley for coming on. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. Cheers. Goodbye.